Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is a scene for the Changeling venue. We have Baron Valarius and the Barony of Progeny, where he is preparing for his battle for tomorrow. He can be seen bustling about, going back and forth towards many different parts of the barony in a haste. Bryce, his seneschal, is around. He is being overworked. He is going back and forth delivering missives. Most of his knights and most of his squires are out delivering missives back and forth, making sure that his commanders are well aware of what he has planned, taking special care to deliver his messages. Um, and the rest of his soldiers are getting letters saying that the battle is indeed tomorrow if they haven't heard. He is bringing his full force of half of his force because it's the battle at Mercy Hospital. So for space, we'll say half of his normal squad, so we'll say 400 soldiers. And we can start us in there. Valerius going, backwards and forwards. The whole barony is alive and bustling.
So yeah, Adam's going to make his way through the crowd and through the people. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Oh, Jesus, small man coming through, and makes his way to Valerius.
Valerius is walking really fast. He is moving about, and he sees you. What is it, Adam?
Um, so I have an issue, and I don't know what I should do, and I'm not sure I am fully equipped to handle what I'm going to end up doing. So I need advice.
All right, speak as he continues directing people, signing papers, and out with it.
So I might have given Lenore some information yesterday,
All right.
not involving you, but involving the things we found out from Count Jeremiah, that guy, the J name guy. And I might have gotten a apartment in Taranar for it.
I see.
So that being said, I'm telling you because I want to be upfront with you about everything.
All
Because
right.
you're kind of my boss, but you're also like I kind of think like we're friends. Um, so
I
my
would
my
say
next
more so associates, but I respect your opinion and you respect mine.
right. Um, so my next step was I was going to go speak to Morwen about that thing we found out.
Oh,
Yeah, that other thing involving Princess Lenore that we found out.
here's my advice about that. I
Uh-huh.
believe that you're playing a very dangerous game, and you fettering information to Lenore. She's going to expect you to keep giving her information. If you do not have the information that she requires up to par, you may find yourself without your said apartment.
Right. So don't get too comfy with it. Gotcha. Um, Well, she also told me that anytime I need to speak with her, I can get a hold of her now. So yeah,
As
that's
Valerius starts moving to his private quarters, and there are a few soldiers moving in and out. So tell me, do you plan to put one against the other? Because if
yes.
you're getting in the middle of a squabble, then I don't suggest that that isn't a very smart idea. As
Well,
Valerius reaches into his drawer, pulls out something that looks like a tooth. He puts it in the back of his mouth, and he'll say, "Testing 1, 2." And a guard on the other side will do something of a flash. A flash of light will go into Krejani, and he says, "Roger." So, as you were saying,
well,
taking the mic out of his mouth and closing it.
so your advice is don't pit one against the other.
I'm saying that's a very dangerous trap. That's what I'm saying.
Sir, I'm trying to sabotage them by putting them more so at each other's throats than they already are.
You do realize the implications in what
That's
you're doing with
that's my biggest fear,
harassing
and
people.
that's why I'm coming to you.
You do realize if it comes to the fact that they should come back and say you did something dishonorable, the law dictates that I will have to respond in kind and discipline you. As he continues signing off, shooing Bryce around, then looking back towards you.
Would it be really considered dishonorable? I mean,
Let's let's be honest. What have we learned recently about the problem of the dreams? It's not exactly that you're right. The best kind of right is being technically right. So if they have enough information against you to say that you did something and they want you out of the way, they can do it. As he starts signing more papers, and then he looks at you rather sternly.
and he kind of rubs his temples. Sir, I'm trying to help you, like in the best way I possibly can. Um, and all out of the three, I feel that you are in the best position to help.
Is he?
That being said, what is your advice about going to Morwen with the information I have on Lenore?
My advice is that Morwen has not gotten to her position. It has not lived as long as she lives without being rather smart. She might see through your facade. See what you're getting at. What are you prepared to do if you should get caught? Or she sees through your deception?
There's no deception, though. It's information, and it's fairly accurate, I would say. That's the thing. Is as much as what I'm doing may be seen, the fact of the information cannot be ignored.
Understood?
So that being said, that is where on technicality it is a very dangerous game, and for that reason I'm coming to you going, what should I do?
I already told you
Because
what to do.
ev-
I already told you. We have a battle to prepare for. But if this is something that you really truly believe in your heart of hearts that you have to do and that you must do, I can give my opinion, but you're free to act as you will.
okay, what is your opinion?
My opinion is this is dangerous and silly.
So you would just sit on the information.
Information is important, but you have to be able to know when to act on the information.
I see. Uh,
Let some time pass, maybe perhaps after the battle, not so quickly.
right. Here Here's another concern I have, and I've been thinking about it since we met with Jeremiah.
Hmm.
No, Jeremiah. Um, my lord, he had a lot of information. That being said, his knowledge of the Shadow Court I find disturbing.
Interesting.
The on top of that, the fact that he couldn't remember how he knew what he knew, that raises some questions. Or am I just being paranoid here?
You're not being paranoid. I think you're seeing the intricacy of what's happening.
I mean, Rick died. The rest of them died, and at Shadow Court hands. if he's on that list and everyone on that list was Shadow Court,
Are
we
you
have a big problem.
are you sure that what's on the list is exactly what it is? Are you sure that you have the proper list?
Well, the list I got was off of one of the bodies of the blasphemers.
Right.
So I have no other option to it but to take that into account and go with that information and assume,
Hmm.
which assumptions aren't good in the information business. But I can only go off of what I know, and what I know is one of the people who was in on the strike on Rick had the list.
I see.
So I don't know. There's I mean, for Christ's sake, I am freaked out. I mean, and I don't feel unjustly like concerned. I mean, I am so afraid of the current situation because we do not know who our enemy is at this point. We have a general idea, but we don't truly know who they are.
Hmm.
And that being said, I mean, I've taken refuge at this point with your freehold, with your wife's freehold, with my own freehold. Now I have, a secondary freehold, that my apartment at Taranar. I have an apartment in near Central Park that a werewolf has granted me safe haven at. I have a key to an apartment of some leeches. I mean, my, my dude, I mean, I'm not sleeping in the same place night after night anymore. I don't sleep comfortably, and I have absolutely every fear of my own life.
You're acting less and less like a Fiona. I would say that once a problem presents itself, we'll handle it. But as systems right now, or we're acting off a circumstance. More has to be revealed. We have to do more investigation. Yes, there are definitely things out there that need to be handled. But as I would say, first things come first. Deal with the problem that's currently presenting itself. Everything else will fall into place. And we will act accordingly.
Okay. Speaking of acting accordingly, did you talk to Sam after we left?
No. Nothing happened.
Sam is now a knight of the realm.
Congratulations. He did a
Like,
good job last night.
look, Princess Lenore knighted him.
That's dangerous. I fear for Sam's life, but I'm
Why?
happy that he is doing good things and he got his title.
Why do you fear for his life?
Because Princess Lenore started the war and he just got knighted by somebody that was ready to start wars. Yes, I'm
Hmm,
worried for him.
hmm, I see.
But this is still a prestigious moment and I'm very so happy for him. I'll be sure to send something to him after the battle is completed. Anything else?
What exactly was that we killed yesterday? I'm still confused.
My recollection, it could have been something born of nightmares, something that was very old, feeding off of the fears of many a children that took a physical form. Case in point, I would call that chimera.
Gotcha. That's pretty much answers everything I needed. Um, how can I best serve you at this point?
Um,
Like,
what do you mean?
well, I mean, I feel like I'm either A, failing, or B, not doing enough.
You're a squire. You're in a very interesting position. Do you know what the duty of a squire is?
To follow your orders.
Exactly. Are you doing that?
Well, yes.
Then that's all that can be asked of you. Once you prove yourself with the little bit I've given you, the time will come where promotion will case in point be presented. Once you're able and you've gotten a certain bit of prestige and you're able to break away from me more and you're able to conduct yourself like a proper Fiona, we can talk about other things.
Okay. He kind of just nods. Um, okay then.
Also, the way I understand it, the way I usually go about seeing those that are worthy enough to wear the mantle of night under myself is that they are usually being tested from the moment they step into my service. Just keep that in mind.
He nods and looks down, almost as if he's deep in thought.
I'm watching and making evaluations.
Very good.
Anything else?
No, my lord. Is there anything you require of me at this point?
He'll hand you a stack of papers. Make sure these are delivered.
Very well. And he looks through them and starts to head out to go deliver them.
Rulers will continue doing orders and moving about the barony very quickly and a very hurried pace, almost as if he is almost going on automatic. His eyes are darting. He's going over battle schematics. He's going over tables and references, and books are flying from the library back into places as different things are being referenced. And the whole scene is very chaotic, but it's very organized. And with that, we'll see Valarius giving out orders and just doing what he does best, remaining calm in the middle of a storm. And this is where we end our scene. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Bye.